Sorry about that, guys. I hope it's coming through loud and clear. There seems to be a bit of an internet drop here this evening. Let's just check. Yep, we're back up and running again. Just log back into my up and running again, but we're on the qualies now, and it's Q1 here in Saudi Arabia. And all your friends, I think he's going to be going on a lap very shortly. So we'll just we'll ride on board with him for a while and just see what the initial times are round here. Difficult enough little track is Saudi. I think there's a total of about 27 corners, but I've got some information on the track that I'll talk to you later about. But great to be here, and looking forward to some clean racing here this evening with Chicane Racing League. So Hypes is just warming up those tyres, and while he's doing that, we'll just go down the grid. We've got Chicane in the Haas, Hypes in the Haas, Techno in the Aston Martin, Connor's in the Racing Bull this evening, Pounder Rangers in the Mercedes, Rock Robs is in the Ferrari, F1 Smithy, he's driving the Alpine this evening, and Jessic is in the McLaren. On board in the Red Bull this evening is Love Gamer. Johnny, he is driving the Williams. That's Johnny B1245. NL Bass is in the Racing Bull. In the Alpine is Sedger. I don't think I've pronounced that right, but if I pronounce anybody's name wrong, just give me a message later and just let me know exactly how it is pronounced. Full Send is in the Aston Martin this evening. Donta is driving the Red Bull. And last but not least on the grid this evening is Lovely Calf 22265. I think I've either commented on him before or I've raced with him before. I am not too sure. As always, I encourage any viewer that's watching my race tonight is to give me feedback. If you want any shout outs, shout them out. Any birthdays, any divorces, any split ups, anything at all, newborn babies, any banter with the other players, just shout them out and I'll certainly be there. Just to let you know that I try not to use bad language. So if you've got kids and you want your sons and daughters or your mums or your dads or anybody like that to watch the race, please feel free to do so. I'll not embarrass you in any one way whatsoever. So anyway, we're on a lap and we'll just follow him around this squirrely little part as he really opens up in 7th gear into 8th, and he's approaching 190 before this really sharp and fast left-hander at 206 miles per hour. But he slows that right down onto the start-finish grid, and we're going to have a look now and see exactly where we are. So Pounder Ranger, he's put in the fastest lap so far at 1:33.298. Hypes is a 1:33.3. Nothing between those guys. In fact, nothing between a lot of these guys. NL Baz is 1:33. Rock Robs is 1:34.1, and Lovely Gamer puts a 1:35.2 in with Connor at 1:35.2. So I'm just going to bounce down and I'm going to see if I can jump on to somebody who's on an out lap. Let's just see who we've got here. Looks like Johnny is on an out lap, so I'm going to jump on with Johnny and see how he goes. 89% of the battery, so yes, he's using, and he's driving the Williams this evening, so let's see what Johnny's got. I have no idea of what the ability of every driver is in this league, so this is a very steep learning curve for me this evening, and I'm going to do my very, very best to give everybody a little bit of coverage this evening as we go through the evening qualies and race. Jessic puts in an incredible 132.880. That's a very, very, very capable lap on the first outing on Jeddah, I must say. Those banker laps are very, very good. But everybody below P15 this evening is not going to make it through. So one person is going to drop out of P1 or Q1 tonight, and we'll just have to wait and see who that's going to be. It's going to be a battle, that's for sure. And here we go, round the final left-hander. Johnny's going to give it lots of ERS. He's going to hit the DRS zone here very, very shortly, and he's going to pop over that line, and he's going to put in a 133.360. That's for Johnny, and that puts him in a provisional 4th place. He'll be happy enough with that. On with Tenko. He's in the Aston Martin. I think he's on a lap. Nice to see some manners on the track there as people pull over and let him through. Hope he didn't get held up there in any way, but he's definitely on a lap, I think. No, he's backed off. He has backed off, so he's going to build up, and he's going to go for it on the second run. Why is it showing me a lot of people are out on intermediate tyres? Haha, you're all very clever in this chicane racing. Just go out there, blow a set of tyres and keep all the good ones for the race. That's exactly what you guys have done. But you must be very confident in your own pace to put those sort of times in on intermediate tyres. So well done, guys, who did that. Everybody else is on soft. What league is this, lad? This is Chicane Racing League, ASI, or ASP 135. You're very welcome to the stream, and we're in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia this evening. CRL is the name of the league, and it's Chicane Racing League. So Tenko puts in a 129.509, and that puts him in second provisionally this evening. I don't think he'll need to go out again. That's a secure lap. So we'll just go on now and we'll have a look and see what's everybody doing out there. On with Sedge. S-E-J-R. Sedger. I'm just going to call you Sedger. I'm not too sure if that's right or not, but we'll just call you that anyway. 30% of the battery left. He's on a lap. DRS is activated. Off he goes, and he's going into the pits. So I'm going to go on with Hypes, because he's my Northern Ireland friend. Nice to see somebody from my home country racing tonight. He has already put in a provisional 8th place at 133.8 or 133.383. He's now bounced onto those medium tyres, and he just wants to probably improve on that just to secure him. But I do honestly believe he is safe as it is. But Ian Sedge and Jan Kev, I love those 4 guys, have not posted a lap yet, so they're just going to wait until the last minute and pop one in. I would say 7 minutes and 47 to go, and it is going to be frantic in the last couple of minutes to see who drops out of this P15 position, who is going to be the lonely pint, and who, if they are dropped out, jump into Twitch, give us a bit of time and give us a bit of chat, and I'll certainly talk you through whatever we're doing. Round that left-hander. He built up a little bit of battery there. He's now in the DRS zone. He takes every single millimetre out of that corner. He's 2.5 seconds up on his previous time. So I'm expecting Hypes to put in a low 131 here. And if I was a guessing man or a betting man, I would say this could put him into P5, more than likely P6. Let's see if Gavin Bass is on tonight. Oh, he does even better than that. He does a 129.8. He was obviously sandbagging. So Hypes from Moira in Northern Ireland is a sandbagger. And he has just put out a P5 and a 129.818. Nothing really separating the top 5, but this guy, Donta, is put in, is a very, very here this evening. So he is obviously one of your league's runners. Who else have we got? Lap, but he's in the Mercedes. We'll just follow Pounder through. Can he improve on the 133.298 that he's already held round? That's nice. Just backs off the throttle ever so slightly here. This is a difficult part of the course where you can just slip over there and lose it on a track penalty. But he is good, and he's going to slam the brakes on late, and does so, hugs the inside as much as he can and slowly puts the throttle on, and he's going to come up and approach this right-hander, which is another tricky one. Let's see how he takes it. Beautifully. Gets the power on, and he's going to fly up here. Let's see what top speed he can get. 7th gear into 8th, and he goes to 8th, and it's 195 going up, up, up. He's only managing 203 miles per hour, so he's 3 miles an hour less than 206 at the minute. But yet he's going to gain on the corners, I would say. So let's see what he's got here. Nicely round that final left-hander. He's now on the straight. He's going to give it loads, 14% of battery left, and he's going to go over the line with a 128.291. And that's a phenomenal lap for Pounder Ranger. That puts him in second in that Mercedes. That's a provisional second place, and I don't think he'll go out again after that. So, the man at the moment it needs to be watched is this guy, Sedger. He needs to be looked at, because both him, Love Gamer, and Smitty, these guys are all going to have to go out and do another lap. And we're actually on with NL Bass at the moment, and he is driving the Racing Bull this evening. So let's see how he finishes this lap. Coming up to the end of Sector 3 now before this left-hander. Tight to the wall, smashes the brakes on, gets it really tight, and gets a lovely bit of pace out of that corner. He approaches the line now, and he's going to put in a 128 watt. 127.5 puts NL Bass in P1 provisionally. And that is a blast of a lap. Well done, sir. Take a bow. That's a class lap. Well done. On with F1 Smithy. He's on a lap. He's in the Alpine. He's in P14 at the moment, and he needs to improve on this 134. I think he's the guy that said he hated this track and he wanted to do co-coms with me tonight. But he's looking good here. He's definitely going to improve, but by how much? Another sandbagger goes over the line. It's a 129.133. These guys were just out on the intermediates and thought better of it and jumped into the softs to secure their place in Q2. So Love Gamer is definitely going to have to put in a really, really, really good lap here. Connor's not safe. Jessic is probably safe. And this guy, Sedger, in the Alpine in P16 at the moment, needs to do a lovely lap. But he's put the medium hards, or the medium compound tires on, and that tells me that he's driving with confidence. So I would say he will more than likely bang in a smashing lap here. Let's see what he can do. But we're on with Lovely Gamer at the moment, and Love DVA Gamer, so we're going to have to just stay on board with him and see what he can do. Before that, we'll jump on with Sedger. 60% the battery. He's got traffic in front of him. Is he getting a tow with his teammate? Is that a teammate in front of him? That'll be a very, very gracious tow if he gets it. It looks like another Alpine. So these two guys, are they working in harmony? Getting a little bit of a tow here. He's going to put in a lovely lap of 129, 130 dead more or less. And that puts him up into a secure 12th position. So all the pressure now is on Connor, and it's also on Love the Gamer. So let's see what Connor's got for us. He's still on his outlap, but Love DVA Gamer is on a lap now, and we're going to ride on board and see what he's got. He needs to beat a 133 to make himself safe here. Sector 1, he's up by 2. Is Red Bull is taking the corner and gets round that beautifully. He is on a floor here, and I think this is going to put this guy really well up the grid. Bangs it round the left-hander. And over the line he goes. It looks like it's going to be a fast one. 128.875. And that puts him in a position of 7th place. And he has secured his place now in the final, or the second quali for this evening. I'm just going to have to ride on board with Connor. Over the line he goes. And that's a fast one. Oh my goodness, Connor puts in a 127.7, putting him in 3rd position. And that now puts all the pressure on Rock Robs. And he is definitely struggling now. And he's going to have to put a fabulous lap in if I can find him here. He's on a lap. So well done to him as well. So it looks like possibly SEJR, I'm going to call him Sedger. He has been 16th and he hasn't made it through, excuse me, to Q2. So just running down those tonight, NL Bass, or BAS, NL BAS in the Visa, he gets the pole there in Q1. Jessic, Connor, Johnny, Donta, Pounder Ranger, Chicane, Love Gamer, Jan Kev, F1 Smitty, Hypes, Techno in 12th, Full Send in 13th, Rock Robs in 14th, and Lovely Calf in 15th. And poor old Sedger, he is going to have to sit this one out and just watch Q2 and Q3. Good quality one, guys. Good quality one. Some nice racing going on there. Woohoo! Rock Robs, Q2. You certainly did, sir. You certainly did. So we're back into the fold again. Everybody's in there. They're maybe doing a few last minute adjustments. They're sticking as little fuel in as they can get away with. They know what they're doing. They might even lower their wing. They might raise it slightly. That's the only thing they probably do, because park firm is more than likely on. But I've got the telemetry on, and I've got the lap data on, and there's one guy out already. All going out on the track as we speak. And I'm going to go with Pounder Ranger. He was the first man out, and I'm just going to stay on broadcast mode while I get myself a quick cup of coffee. It's 14 minutes long, this Q2, so I'll be back with you very, very shortly, and I'll give you a rundown of what people are doing and how they're going to go. But anybody that doesn't understand the rules, P10 downwards, are out. So the lads need to get into the top 10 to qualify for the very, very last session, and that will be Q3. I'll be back in 1 second. This is Gavin Bass 1, this is Chicane Racing League, and this is Monday night at Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. So that's me back. A double espresso has been poured. Gavin Bass is back on the microphone, and while he's been away, Connor has put in a very, very tight 127.3. Johnny a 128.0. 123 for Jessic. Pounder Rangers a 128.4. At what Chicane is 128.5. By God, this is very close racing, guys. Chicane is a 128.5. Smithy has put in a 128.9. Donta 129 for him, and Rock Robs is 129.542, and Hypes has put in a 129.542. Hypes is a 129.8, and we're going to ride on board with who's on an out lap here. Let's go to somebody we haven't seen. We haven't been on with Full Send much, so I'm going to go on with him and give him a lap. Until we do that, we'll just see who's out there and who's using. And here's one guy here, lovely calf. He's in the McLaren, and he's definitely on a lap at the moment. He's saving a bit of battery going round there, which is a really smart thing to do. These guys really know what they're doing, and they are displaying some very classy racing here. And I must say, so far, what I see, I really, really like. And there's somebody overtaking him. So he's backed off, obviously. He's back in the 5th gear, so I don't know what happened there. Was he held back or whatever? But he's down to 56% of battery, and that's not going to be good enough. So that's unfortunate there. On with Love Gamer, and then full send. I said I would go on with him, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to see him right through to the end of his lap. So this is the Aston Martin, and this is full send. He is in P14 on the grid at the moment, but let's see what he's got. Phenomenal lap for NLBAS, and that's a 127.132. And Connor with a 127.327. These guys are not hanging about here tonight in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Here we go. So nice and smoothly round this left. He'll bang on the hot lap, and off he goes. He gives it a bit of ERS to start with, and he wants to get total speed up here before he slams into the chicane. 204, 25, 600 miles an hour round this lovely sweeping right-hander. Takes a little bit of that apex, and off he goes to the very tricky part of this course. Takes that beautifully. Absolutely lovely. This is a very classy lap so far. Backs off ever so slightly round that left-hander. This is where you can lose it, and he doesn't. He gets it tight to the left hand, and off he goes down, and he'll slam on, and he will want to get it as tight as he can without compromising any speed whatsoever. And off he goes then up to this right-hander. Lots of battery left, and he's got a lot of power left to put in a nice sector 2 and a nice sector 3 here. He's starting top speed, 207, 208, 209 miles. Takes out really best, and he just wants to take this really, really smoothly, which he's doing. Round the left-hander, tightens it up, back on the throttle, and off he goes down to the start-finish line, and he's going to put in a 128 what? 128.5, and that's a smashing lap for full send, putting him in 6th, and that should be enough to secure him a quali 3 section and let him go on with the rest of the session. Nice one, well done, sir. So you can see now that we are at a very crucial part of Q2, where the guys that are sitting sort of in around about the 128.7s, 128.9s are in a they're in a vulnerable situation, let's just say. They have a very serious chance of being knocked off that. And there's 2 or 3 guys there that I know already, just from watching Q1, will definitely be giving that a blast. So let's see who is out there. On with Jan. Chicane is happy with his time, and he has retired from the session, so he's fairly well confident that that 128.547 will get him through. I think he's right. No point in burning up more tyres. But Jan is just building the battery up again. He's going for another lap. He's harvesting, and he's now going to get prepared for this crucial, and he needs the lap of his night right now. Takes that nice and wide to get the maximum speed, and off he goes. He'll hit the RS and the ERS very shortly. He hits, oh, he goes So he's going to have to stick on another set of softs and go and give it another chance. On the rock robs, the best he can do so far was a 1:29.542. So let's see what he can do. Revving the head of that Ferrari, and off he goes. Into the DRS. He hasn't left himself very much battery for the last straight, so he has put everything into the first two sectors. He stays in 13th position, no improvement there. 3 minutes and 59 seconds left, so these guys are definitely in the drop zone now, and we'll just see how they go. So there's a nervous Lovely Gamer, there's a nervous Jan Kev, there's a nervous Donta. Rock Robs is going to go out for one more, I would say. Tenko is going to have another go, and Lovely Calf are all going to have another go. I think a 1:28.5 is going to secure it here if anybody can get it. Oh, sorry, 1:28.9 is Smithy, and Love the Gamer. He is 1:28.9 as well. So there are 2 or 3 guys there that will be wanting to knock them off those positions. My fellow Northern Ireland lad, Hypes, has put it in P4 at a 1:28.2. So the lad from Moira in Northern Ireland is sitting securely in P4 for this Q2, and he's through to the Q3. That's good to see. So I'd go Smithy, or Smithy. Sector 2, is there any improvement in that 120? Coming up to the end of Sector 2, half a second up, and that should be really, really good, and that should put him in a 1:28.2, 1:28.3 if he continues on. He's got a bit of battery left, and he still should be able to send it down here. So I'm expecting Smithy to be putting in a 1:28.2-ish. So let's see what he can do. Oh, just out by 200s, 1:28.4, and that puts him in P7. So that's Smithy through to Q3. Nice lap, sir. Well done. They're all out now, and they're putting in their last lap. Let's ride on board with Jan Kev. He's in the Mercedes. Tammy Knock, Love, DVA Gamer. .128.7. That puts him in 10th position. But he has a few guys out on track that just could push him down there. So let's see who's out there. On with Techno. He's in the Aston. Let's see how he improves on Sector 1. He needs to be getting it up into the 1:28.5s here if he can get through. Oh, beautiful. He's 7/10 up. He's 7/10 up. And that could put him on the very... If he can get a very, very quick Q3, Sector 3 in here, he might just knock Jan off. But it'll need to be really, really fast. 1:20, 1:2. Let's see where he's going. Takes it really close to the line. And he's going to put a 1:28.9, and that's just not enough. That's P11. Donta P13. Oh, Donta puts it up into P3. Unbelievable lap by Donta in the Red Bull at 1:27.857. Wow-wee. Now we've got problems. It looks like Chicane, Jan Kev, Techno and Rock Rob's Lovely Calf are all going down. Hard luck, guys, but you put a real good effort in there and there's not an awful lot behind each other. So it's a long race. So there you have it. It's goodbye to Chicane, it's goodbye to Jan Kev, it's goodbye to Tenko, and it's goodbye to Rock Rob's. And unfortunately, those lads are not going to make it through. Who was the fifth guy? It was Lovely Calf. He didn't make it through either with a very respectable 1:29.5. But there has to be winners and there has to be losers. That's for sure. Into Q3 we go. I was watching the Discord chat earlier there, and a lot of the lads have a lot of banter with each other, a lot of crack. And then what happens on race night, all of that goes up with it goes out the window. A lot of people say, don't be worrying about it, it's only a game. You know what, guys? I don't see it as a game whatsoever. There's lads out here that practice lots and lots and lots, and they put a lot of laps in to try and do their very best on a Monday night here. And it's so important that everybody keeps it clean, because one silly mistake can ruin somebody's night. So it's not a game, it's a competitive sport, and these lads are doing everything they possibly can to put themselves as far up the grid as they possibly can. Rock Robs is happy with his P14, and so you should be, buddy. That wasn't a bad lap whatsoever, and I wish you the very best for a good, clean, competitive race when it happens shortly. Everybody's on the right lap. To interact, make this something full time. It's my job interview tonight, so I have to put my best performance in. The lads were saying you haven't had a commentator for quite some time, so anything's welcome. I'm glad to hear that. But as the weeks go on, if the guys want me to come back, I will improve. I'll start looking into the league tables and starting to display those up while I'm streaming, so everybody can see where everybody is on the league. On with Hypes, round that left-hander into that sharp right-hander, right onto the rumble strip. He's taking every millimetre he can, and he's sending it down here into the left-hander. He is wanting a fast lap here, and that will be his banker lap, and he'll probably go out then on a very, very fresh set of hards or softs after this, and he'll want to put himself up in the top. Oh, did he go outside the track limits there? If he didn't, he was very, very close into the left-hander. 59% of the battery left. Makes that really tight. .185 miles per hour before he hits the brakes round that right into the left. Takes that as much as he can. Straight lines at along here, and he's taking as much as he can out of this track. 203 miles per hour, 204 was the max he got out of that. Very, very fast corner there. Takes that beautifully, and he is definitely driving very well here. And right now, I think Hypes could put a decent time in. Let's see, round the left-hander, nice and smoothly. Pounder Ranger, he sets the standard. In fact, Johnny has just put him down one at 127.213, and Hypes puts in a 128.9, and that puts him a provisional third. Smithy puts in a fourth place position of 129.047, but I don't think that's going to be secure after watching what I've been seeing. Let's have a wee look at Connor. Over the line he goes, 127.5. My goodness, this is so close. I've got a feeling this could be one hell of a close race here. Dante puts in a 127.9. Oh, Pounder Ranger, a 127.9. Just look at that, not even a second between these guys whatsoever. Now, all eyes are on NLBAS. He's a fast guy, so let's see what he's going to do here. Sector 3. .127.0. He puts it into second. But look at Jessic. Jessic in the McLaren has put in the pole position so far provisionally. 7 minutes to go here in Jeddah, and that's a 127 dead. Have any of these guys got a very late 126 in them? If they do, they are special. Honestly, really special. A 127 round Jeddah is no slouch, I can tell you. That's a fantastic lap, and take a bow, Jessic. Brilliant lap, sir. Full Send has obviously only one set of tyres left, and he's going to put the minimum of fuel in. He's going to go out in the last 2 or 3 minutes of this race for the looks of it, or this quali session. Johnny B, 1245, oh my. Oh my is right, 127.2, bud. Absolutely smashing lap. Top 3 so far for you, Johnny, in that Williams car. Really well done, sir. Looking forward to a good race from you. For anyone who's just tuned in, this is Chicane Racing League on a Monday night. And this is Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. And this is Q3 with 5 minutes remaining in the session before we race. These lads are showing some major talent here, 25 game. Really, 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 really fast guys. Really close. And honestly, from what I can see, it looks like they're a very respectable, clean. And I was looking at some statistics earlier there, and it was telling me that there's a 70% chance of a safety car here tonight. Can these guys keep it so clean they can blow those statistics out of the water and not have a safety car? Who knows? But Hypes has decided to go out early, and he's going to go out there. So before these guys left the pit, they told their crew to put the toilet roll in the fridge. They'll be going in and they'll be emptying their bowels and getting themselves well settled down for this race this evening. Because what I can see here, there's the 126.894. Jessic, you did it for Gavin. Well done, sir. And that puts you in pole. And I honestly don't think that's going to be touched. I may be wrong, but I think you've just got yourself the very, very pole position in this race this evening with that 126.894. That is a special lap. Well done, sir. So the lad from Northern Ireland, Moira in Northern Ireland, he is a fellow countryman of Gavin Bass, and he is driving the Haas, and he is on his outlap, and he wants to try and improve on this 1:28.935 that he's already posted. So let's ride on board and let's see what he can do. Off he goes. So tight to that right-hand wall, unbelievable stuff. Every single inch of the track being used here. Sweeps into this left-hander, just gives that a little clip there, but I don't think it slowed him down any there. I'm not too sure. Let's see what a sector one's like, but he needs to be up on 1:29 or 1:28.9 sector one, and he's half a second up right now. So he is on course to improve and maybe get himself into the 1:27s, depending how Sector 2 goes. Let's see if he can get that up 1 second of an improvement. Beautifully round the left-hander, very close to that wall, and he is straight lining it down here over the apexes, and he is taking every millimetre out of this course, and looks like he is trying furiously to put himself further up the grid. Round that right-hander, tight as he can to that, and into the left he goes. Very little battery left, leave yourself a little bit for the straight. A smooth exit is really, really necessary here. Nice and tight, and that's a beautiful corner, and off he goes. This is looking really good. And Hypes from Northern Ireland has just put in a 1:28.2, putting him in P7 for this evening's race. I don't think he's going to get another chance to better that. Who else have we got out there? Connor puts himself in P3 with a 1:27.172. These are phenomenal laps, guys. I must admit, I'm really, really enjoying this. Some of the best driving I've seen for quite some time. And I don't mean that in any way disrespectfully, but in terms of equal pace and manners on the track and all that sort of stuff so far looks really, really good here in Chicane Racing League. Johnny B, is he having last go here? It looks like he's on sector 1. Johnny B doesn't want to be Johnny B4. He wants to be Johnny B1. Can he do it? Johnny's driving the Williams this evening, and he is sending it. Running really, really light on fuel here. So he's trying to maximise the weight of this car for his final attempt at Q3. End of sector 2. And he hasn't improved. If anything, Johnny is going to stay in P4 here unless he has an incredible sector 3, and I don't think he's got the battery to do that. So I've got a feeling that Johnny is just going to remain in P4. He's just going to go over the line now. 1:27.213 is Johnny's time for this evening. And the fastest lap of the quali was 1:26.856 for NL Bass. NLBAS. That is incredible stuff here at Chicane Racing League on a Monday night. Jessic on 26.5, I think that was. Dante of Q3. The McLaren is in pole, NL Bass in second, Connor Dante fifth, Pascar, he's in eighth. Full Send is in ninth in the Aston Martin, and in 10th place this evening it is Love DVA Gamer. You know what? Jesse's time is so close to esports time. You know what, Johnny? I absolutely agree with you. It's pretty incredible. Honestly, that is really, really fast round here. I do race myself, so I sort of know what I'm talking about, and that is bloody fast, as all of you are, in fairness. All of you. So while you guys are sorting out your toiletries and having your final cigarette of the evening and wiping your brow and setting up your fuel and tonight's race, is this a one-stop, two-stop? I think it's going to be a two-stop. Are the guys going to risk it and go out on the hards? Are they going to go out on a soft, then a medium and then a hard? Are they going to go out in two mediums and then a hard? Who knows? The guys that go out in the medium, if a safety car comes, they're obviously going to be in a very, very good position because they can then dive in and get a tyre change. The guys in the hards, they'll not be wanting a safety car. But anyway, it looks like we're off. And they're off. I'm just going to get the telemetry up and I'm going to get everything up there. And Jessic gets round turn one very safely, but there's a bit of action in the back there. What happened there? I think there was a Williams got caught out there. I'm not too sure who it was. Just missed that, sorry. But off they go. Just watching them round these corners, making sure everybody gets round. For the first lap, settle down into the cockpit of that car, and there's somebody going. He's going to get a track limits for that. But Jessic has pulled it out of the DRS zone very, very temporarily there, and he's trying to get a real quick getaway so that he can pull away from the contenders behind him. But Connor and NL are having a battle. So going down them one by one after the first lap, it's Jessic in first place in the McLaren, Connor in P2 at the moment in the Racing Bull. NLBAS is in third, Donta is in fourth in the Red Bull. In fifth is Pounder Ranger, and not far behind him is Hypes from Northern Ireland in the Haas. In the Alpine is Smithy, he's in seventh place. Full Sends in eighth in the Aston Martin. In the Haas car, in ninth is F1 Chicane. Jessic puts in a 1:31.166 fastest lap, and he is so close to pulling away from these guys' DRS zone. In 10th, we've got Love the Gamer. Then we've got John Kev in the Mercedes in 11th. Lovely Calves in 12th. Tentco 13th. 14th is Rob. Rock Robs, and in 15th is Sedger, and in going in there to get a wet corner in that, and that's unfortunate for him, but he's going to whack on the hard tyres. And let's have a look and see exactly what we've got here in terms of tyres. So a lot of the guys out on mediums, and there's a few guys wanting to do the long stint first of all in the hards. So Connor, Bass, Donta, Full Send, Chicane, and John Kev and also Johnny are now on the hard tyres, and they're wanting to go for the longer stint in this race. Lap 2 here in Jeddah. This is Chicane Racing League, and I'm Gavin Bass 1, your commentator this evening. So he's pulled away out of the DRS zone and he's harvesting away there, and he's just going to do everything in his experience to keep Connor out of that zone as much as he can. But I'm going to go down to Pounder Ranger because he is on the back end of this Red Bull of Donta and he is wanting that position back. Let's see if he can get it onto the DRS. Here he goes. He's going to take an outside move. Inside he goes. Lovely. Takes it round. Leaves that Red Bull behind and he's going to slam into the left-hander, putting him up into fourth position this evening. Lovely move by Pounder under the DRS, of course. Donta's not going to let him away with that. That's for sure. So racing down with Chicane, and Chicane's chasing down the Alpine, and that Alpine could be very takeable here because he's going to have the DRS on the next section. So let's just see what he can do down the back straight. I don't think he'll be able to... Oh, he goes off the track a bit there. Did he get a track limit? Absolutely not, but he doesn't have any penalties so far. Neither does any driver so far in this league. He's punching. He is punching. Chicane is really wanting this place back. He wants to get tight to the back of this Alpine and he wants to just gently squeeze that DRS and the ERS, and he should make a move as long as the Alpine doesn't block him, and he has every right to do that with one move. 3-second penalty for Sedger, 3-second time penalty, but he wasn't able to make the move there. Will he do it in this one? This is a wise one if he does, because it only gives the guy... Oh, he goes in the inside and he takes it beautifully. And he gets himself up into P7. Nice move, Chicane. And he's now right behind his teammate in Hypes. So the two Haas's are in together and they just might work together as a team to try and chase down these leaders in Pounder and also those guys in front of him. So the two Haas cars, it's going to be interesting, but Smithy has split them. Smithy is now the sandwich, the filling in the Haas sandwich, as they say. Trying to find some battles. What about Jan Kev? Jan Kev's right up the back of the Red Bull here, and he's in the Mercedes P10 and he's chasing down Love the Gamer. They're all in a DRS zone, a wee bit wide there from the Red Bull. Not good for the tyres, that. So the only person they've made a stop, and that was because of damage, was Johnny. Sorry I didn't catch the incident, but I don't comment on incidents, to be honest with you. I just try and watch them, and that's down to the stewards and the admins of your league to decide who was at fault, what happened. I'm sure you've got a ticket system that you put your complaints in. But right now we've got a very, very clean race. But Sedger is making a lot of mistakes and he's getting himself a plethora of penalties here this evening at Jeddah. 9 seconds already. So Sedger has got himself a little bit unsettled in that Alpine and he's chalking up the penalties, and that is not a good thing, especially come the end of the race. Let's see what Donta has got to say about Pounder Ranger, because he'll be wanting that place back. Oh, we've got a caution. We've got a caution. It's disappeared again. So maybe just somebody clipped the wall there. I don't know who it was. Three-second penalty for Love DVA Gamer. You didn't want that, sir. You definitely didn't want it. Bouncing down to Chicane, P8. He's fighting hard on this Alpine. He's going to find himself very, very vulnerable here on this DRS zone that's just about to come up, and I would fully expect the Alpine of Smithy's. Definitely got pace, and he's going to try an outside move, but he's left it too late, and he's just going to have to tuck in behind and form an orderly queue. But he has another go, and up the inside he goes, and he just gets that Alpine beautifully, and he makes a move up into P7. Nice move, and he's now going to try and chase down Hypes, who's quite a bit in front of him. 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds to try and catch that. But the two lads in P1 and 2 are going to be battling. In fact, there's 3 of them in this chain. We've got Connor in P1, Jessica in P2, and NLBAS in P3. And they're all in each other's DRS zone. And this is going to be a furious race for P1. But we've got a caution. And what is that caution? Oh, we've got a Ferrari limping. What's wrong with that Ferrari? And we've got an Aston Martin as well. So Sedger has bailed. I don't know if he had a crash or has he bailed. But anyway, he wasn't having a good night and he's just decided to pack it in, or else he's had a bit of an accident. Is this a safety car? I think it's just a press has been enabled, so they're back to racing speed. Beautiful Racing Bull. I love the livery of that car. I was watching her night and the McLaren was in its new livery. I'm not sure why that one's not in the new livery. I think maybe you have to download it. Back down to the Northern Ireland guy. He's in the Haas and he's racing really tightly behind this Red Bull, and he is in the P6 at the moment. Very respectable position. But again, DRS chain is very, very hard to back out of. And let's see what he's got along the straight. He's got 87% the battery, so he's got lots of power there to make the move, but not wise to make it just right now while there's a DRS. It's only a waste. So he'll save up. Full Send gets a 3-second penalty. So there's 3 seconds for Love the Gamer and 3 seconds for Full Send. None of the top 7 or 8 guys have got penalties, so that's not going to make any difference to their position at the end of the race right now. Under the beautiful lights here. I love the sound going round the wall section there. Absolutely roaring. But I'm on with Jan. He's making a move there. And he takes out Aston Martin and puts himself up into 10th. And Tenko got taken there. But Tenko's going to sit in behind him. And he's going to have another go back. Let's have a look at Tenko. Just not enough in the tank to do it there, unless he's going to dive bomb him. But I don't think these guys do dive bombs, which I'm really glad to see, because they always end up in tears. You are an expert on it, and you need to do it so safely and to make it work. There, Jan gets that penalty, so he'll not want that either. Let's have a look at the stop situations. End have had a stop, and Sedger has he has DNF, so he's the only one so far to DNF here at Jeddah. So I'm just going to take you down in their positions. Who we've got is Connor in the Racing Bull. In second, following very closely is in the McLaren, and behind him in very close third is NLBAS in the Racing Bull. jump on here. Chicane in 7th in the Haas. Smithy's in 8th in the Alpine, but he has Love the Gamer right behind him in the Red Bull, and there's going to Love the Gamer to P10 and the Aston Martin, and right behind him, move here round this slippery right-hander into the left. And I'm going to say Lovely Calf gets a 3-second penalty for multiple to come. Of 10 he can do. I'm not too sure he's close enough, but he needs to squeeze hard. He might wait to the second one. Let's see if he squeezes. And doesn't want to make the move on this part of the track, even though he had the pace there. He's going to maybe try it on. Jan Kev, and a lot of separation going on the track now, but I'm going to go down. Rock Robs, he's in the Ferrari, he's in 12th, and it's just been taken there. That was John, sorry, coming out of the pits, I think it was, and I got a little lads, sorry about that. And full send, he's in the Aston in P15, and he has made a stop. Having a look at the tyres now. These leaders, they're still in that DRS zone, and they're going to fight, and they're DRS zone. LBAS are both on hards, and those 9-lap mediums on a Jessek's car will be the. I would expect Jessek then come out and, in fact, when himself outside going on here tonight is P10, and that is Jan. He's in P10, and it looks like Tenko took him in the Aston Martin. Finish grid, or this last DRS in sector 3 round the left-hander, still stays very close to the gearbox of that Aston, or that Aston Martin, and I think Jan gets himself up at the P8, and then Tenko goes into the pits, and he's going to stick on his hard tyres for this evening. Let's see what he puts on. And he goes. On goes the hards. And out he comes. So as I said, these two lads, teammates too, the two Racing Bulls, are playing the Racing Bull game. No real battles going on behind them apart from Lovely Calf, and I'll just bounce down to him to see what he's got. He's in the McLaren and he's chasing down Tenko. Nicely round there. Oh, nice bit of cornering there. Gets himself into a fairly decent position here. Is he going to make the move on one of these DRS zones coming up? Round the left-hander. Smashes that. Still stays very, very close, but that Aston is also closing down on the full send. He makes a beautiful move, and he just puts that Aston behind him, and that puts Lovely Calf up into 13th with Tenko behind him. And he's now going to chase down full send and try and take that Aston Martin of 12th position out and give himself a nice place in this race this evening. There's your stop situation. The only people still to make a stop are Connor, NL, Donta, Chicane and Jan Kev. They've all still to make a stop. Let's have a look at the position changes. The biggest winner tonight is F1 Chicane. He's up from 11th to 5th position. Jan Kev, he's also made a fabulous 5-place increase into P7, and he is going especially well. The biggest loser this evening so far has been Johnny in the Williams, and that's because he had an incident in the first couple of laps of the race, which was unfortunate. But these Astons are fighting, and they're keeping that McLaren in the sandwich at the moment, but that McLaren ain't staying there for long. He's trying the outside move, and he makes it stick, and out he goes. And look at that Aston in the inside. Is that Aston going to try it? He is, but he backs off, and the McLaren takes the corner, and that's a nice move by the McLaren, holding the both of them off. But what a try there from the Aston Martin of Tenko and full send. They're going to need to work together as a team here if they can. On with Johnny B. He's got that Alpine off Smithy in his sights, and he's going to want this position. He's lost 6 positions. He's not happy with that start of the race. He's driving angry, and whenever you're angry, you're normally fast, but you can also be careless. So I hope Johnny's going to bounce into the pits. He's had enough of those tyres. Let's just see what tyres he was on. He's 13 lap old hard, so he's going to jump on for the last 10 laps on another set of mediums, I would say. Let's just see what Johnny's going to do. In he goes. Pit scaffer ready. No wings required. On go the mediums, and off he goes. He puts him back to the back of the grid again. So have a look what's going on. Jessic is now leading the race. Everybody, I think, has now, let's see, everybody has made their stop, and we're now on track, as it will be at the end of the race. And that, look at that Connor guy go. He just took a beautiful overtake there in the Racing Bull, and they're going to play each other out. And NL Bass is just 1.2 seconds behind. Now, if these two guys race like this, they are going to give NL a chance to catch them up, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. He wants to try so hard to get into this DRS zone of the guys in front, but if they're sensible, they should really just be towing each other along. But there's no sense in racing. They want their first place, and it's going to start the really battle now. So if these guys battle, let's just see. Bass is pulling in. He's now 1.1 seconds behind. He's very, very close, and he's now in the DRS zone of Jessic, and that's really good stuff to see him back in the train that he started off with. And there you have it. The three of them are back in an orderly queue. They've still got quite a bit of battery. Look at the battery that Connor has. He's got 70. Jessic's got 83. And NL will sit in behind there, and he will build up and harvest and get himself into a position of strength. And he will then fight for this P1 position as we then finish the last 9 laps of this race in Jeddah. This is Chicane Racing League. This is a Monday night. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and this is lap 16. I'm just going to bounce down to Jan. Jan's wanting to have a wee bit of lovely calf here. Oh, lovely half. He clips the wall there. Nose to tail going round here. Nose to tail. Jan is pushing. Jan wants that position. Oh, he's trying the inside move. He makes it stick, and the McLaren gives him lots of space to do so. That's really mature racing, guys, I must say. I've seen many a guy trying to dive bomb and get on like a fool, but that's really good racing. I must admit, I'm very, very impressed with the style of these guys this evening. Just loving it. Absolutely loving it. On with Chicane. He wants that P7 off Smithy. He's lining him up. He has a plan, and the plan will be follow him down this straight, or this fast section, take him round the left-hander, maybe even take him right down to the left-hander before the pits, and then take him on the start-finish line. Or is he going to be impatient? He's going to be impatient, and he's going to make the move earlier. But I'll tell you what, that just gives Smithy an opportunity to take him back. And will that happen? Let's see. Let's ride on board with Smithy. What a beautiful battle going on here. And that Red Bull of Love the Gamer, he's wanting a wee bit of it now too. And that Haas of Chicane is right up back into P7. And he's away. But look behind him. Look behind him. It's on the outside. He doesn't want to do anything too foolish here, but they're side by side round here, and that Alpine squeezes and does it nice and cleanly, but has to tuck back in behind the Haas, and he is pushing so hard as Smithy. He needs to tuck in again, and he needs to just harvest and get some more power and be patient. But my goodness, that was very close to being a phenomenal overtake, but it just didn't quite come off. Look at this Red Bull. He's wanting a bit of it. Going to go up to Donta. Donta's got an opportunity here to get himself into P4. He gets it nice and tight in behind that Mercedes of Pounder Ranger. Does he have the pace? Does he have the strength? I'm not too sure he does. Pounder's defending very well. And off he goes. So no, not a move being made here. But Donta is right on there, and it's only a matter of time before the Red Bull takes that fourth position, I think. Back on with Love the Gamer. He's just taken back the Alpine of Smithy, and there's a real fight going on here. They'll be chatting later about what such battles they're having. Smithy is pushing, and he's pushing really hard. Look how close that Red Bull took the wall there. So he's defending every single opportunity he can. Car position is so vital here, and he is putting it in very good positions to stop Smithy getting past him on any of those corners. So Smithy needs to just get a wee bit of an edge here, and he's doing that. Now, can he make the move here? 36% of battery versus 59. No, I think that Red Bull is going to be able to hold you off. I really do think so. So you're just going to have to form an orderly queue and be patient, sir. I'm going to jump up to Pounder. He's still trying. He's trying very, very hard to get this position off Donta. Lap 20, 5 laps to go. Jeddah, Chicane Racing, and this is Gavin Bass 1 on commentary this evening for his very first time. If anybody wants to subscribe to my channel, they can do so free of charge if they have an Amazon Prime account. So all you do is just go on to my Twitch, go to subscribe, and subscribe through Amazon Prime, and that will get rid of any adverts. I have the adverts turned down as low as they possibly can. Unfortunately, I'm affiliated because I've got so many followers, both on YouTube and on Twitch. So unfortunately, I can't turn the ads off completely. But if you want to get rid of them and you've got Amazon Prime, that's the way to do it. Still on board with Pounder. Will he make the move? He's very close here. He's going to have the DRS. Down the straight they go. Let's have a look. Out to the outside he goes. And yes, he's making it work and takes that move. And he goes. That's lovely. Pounder's in the fourth position. Donta is now chasing him in fifth. Lap 21 of 25, and I'm just going to go down them all, and I'm going to now start to focus on the top three, who are Connor, NL Base, and Jessic in P1, 2 and 3. That's the two Racing Bulls working together, and together they will try and block that McLaren of Jessic out. So far they've been doing a very good job, but the racing is going to start in earnest very, very soon as they approach. What a race. What a race these three guys are having. That's Connor, NL Bass, or Base, and Jessic 308 in the McLaren. He's having a phenomenal race, and he's making a move on the outside, is he? Let's have a look. He tried the inside, and he's made it stick, and he's just taken P2, not in the normal position. That was a phenomenal move there by the McLaren, and he is then going to get... Now they're racing. Now they are racing. And in goes the inside. and he's going to get robbed by both of them, and he's going to find himself back in P3. The two Racing Bulls are holding him. They are holding him to ransom here in P3, and they're doing a great job blocking him out. But by God, did that McLaren try? Yes, he did. Lap 22. Just going to bounce on very, very quickly to Johnny. Johnny's having a right old bash here at Love the Gamer. So I just want to see, oh, he goes off track there. Oh, there's been a caution. What the heck? Jan Kiev has binned it. Jan Kiev has binned it in P13, and we've got an incident here. I don't know what happened, but there was an incident, and I'm sure that one will be reported if it was a collision between two cars. Sorry I missed it, but I was on to the race leaders at that stage, and so I should have been. So I'm just going to bounce right up to the start, and we are under caution at the moment. So these guys are not going to be able to pass each other. Lap 22. I don't think we've got a safety car. Or have we? No, we haven't got a safety car. Oh no. 20-second time penalty speeding under virtual safety car? No way. Absolutely no way is a guy of that experience taking a penalty like that. Is that a glitch in the game, or was that for sure? Like 20 seconds? Are you for real? Did he do it twice? What happened there? Love the Gamer gets a 3-second penalty. That has just spoiled NL's race, because those 20 seconds are going to allow a lot of the guys from behind in front of him on the final positions. That is so sad. On with your race leader. That's Connor. He's now pulled away by 1-3 seconds. This is Connor's race. Absolutely and utterly. He's racing clean. He's penalty free. And I just don't know what happened to NLBAS in second position, but he got caught speeding under a virtual safety car, and I've got the feeling that he might dispute that. But I didn't catch exactly what happened, so I'm not in a position to give any advice there. But that is a rookie mistake. And I don't think NLBAS is the kind of guy who makes mistakes like that. So I'm starting to think that was a bit of a glitch or something that he might be able to challenge. One wee last look at Donta. Donta's trying, and very, very hard he is, to try and get that fourth position back off Pounder. A final look at Smithy. Don't think anything's going to happen here. So I am going to bounce. Smithy gets a 3-second penalty. Oh, what a time of the race to get a 3-second penalty on the final lap, near enough. So in P1, we've got Connor, and Connor's going to be your race winner tonight, because the lad behind him in NLBAS, he's got 20 seconds off questionable penalties. Super race up to that just spoiled the race. That virtual safety car spoiled the race. Lovely Calf didn't finish. Jan Kev didn't finish. Sedger didn't finish. And unfortunately, I wasn't there to pick up on exactly what happened to those guys, but I'm sure on Discord it will be discussed. Lap 25. No need for NLBAS to push, only just to stay where he is. Full send, he gets a late penalty there of 3 seconds. But round the final left-hander they come. Sorry, it's not the final left-hander whatsoever. It's the back straight. And they're having a little race for a bit of fun at the end of this race. Unless NLBAS is very, very certain that that penalty was unnecessary. I really don't know what happened there, but they're fighting it off to the end anyway. And Connor's not going to let this go. Not at all. It's going to be a 1-2 for the Racing Bulls this evening. And they come, and it's Connor first, NLB second. Jessic is coming over in the McLaren and in third. Then Pounder. Look at the differences that has made. That has put NL way down to fifth, with Dante in third, Pounder in fourth, fifth, and Hypes is now over the line in sixth. Fifth, sorry, for Hypes. Sixth is NLBS now. 7, Chicane. He comes over the line, and then we're waiting on Johnny B in the Williams. He comes over the line in 8th. Smithy, he's 9th, and he's still fighting away there. And he is, they bend each other going over the line. Oh my goodness, what absolute disaster there they have. Oh, lads, what he is at. That's a stream record if ever I've seen one. In other leagues, you'll get absolute massive fines for that. Kent goes in 10th. Love the Gamer is in 11th. Rock Rob is in 12th. And Full Send in the Aston Martin with his 12-second penalties is now in last position, but not least whatsoever. What a race. A few absolute and utter moments in that race this evening. And it's just so unfortunate that happened. Really, really, really unfortunate. I just would love to know what happened, but I'm sure we will definitely pick up on it in the Discord channel later. So there you have it. Johnny locked the rears on the first corner. But it happens. It happens. But you did okay. You did okay. They spray the champagne over the crowd, as they do. Now, the game gives Connor as the winner. NL Bass is the fastest lap of the evening. Driver of the day was Chicane by the game. Most overtakes was Smithy. And the cleanest driver this evening, all by the game, is Tenko. That is it for this evening. I'm Gavin Bass 1. I'll be really interested to hear your feedback on if you enjoyed the commentary. There are your positions for the final of the race. And the race director, I will just flick through. Oh, I've been too late to do that. Normally I get that in for the admins and stuff like that. I don't know whether it gives you a chance to do it again. Let me just see if I can. No, I can't. Sorry. Me bad. Me bad. But anyway, that was my debut for this evening. I must admit, amazing racing, guys. Amazing qualies. In general, very, very clean. Don't know what happened to the lad with the 20-second penalties. I'm sure he will have something to say about that. But again, thanks to Jack. for contacting me, and I'll be very keen to see if you enjoyed the commentary and the racing tonight. And if so, I would be more than happy to come back next week because I really, really enjoyed it. Hypes, thank you very, very much, buddy. Good Northern Ireland guy. Enjoyed my comms a lot. That's good. Stick up for our own country, boys. A big thanks to all the stewards and admins who obviously work furiously behind the scenes to keep this league enjoyable. And again, thank you everybody for their support on Twitch this evening. And remember, if you want to subscribe, if you have Amazon Prime, you can do so, and that removes the ads. So on that note, I hopefully will see you next week. I just have to hear back from the bosses, see if they want me back, and if so, I will see you all on the grid next week. I'm Gavin Bass 1. This was Chicane Racing League in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on a Monday evening. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of a week. Good night.
It's a battle for the crown. Who will rise? Who will stand tall? On the top step, they'll answer the call. With hearts racing and spirits ignited, the champion's moment is finally sighted. Adrenaline pumping, the crowd is alive. Speeding through corners, they take the dive. Every lap counts, the stakes are set. In this game of skill, there's no room for regret. Listen closely, hear the engine scream. Chasing glory, living the dream. Battles unfold on the asphalt track. In pursuit of victory, there's no turning back. Feel the thrill as the tires grip tight. Under the stars, everything feels right. Each curve a story, each turn a chance. In this high-speed dance, we all advance. As the checkered flag waves, the night concludes. The champion shines in the spotlight's hues. With the roar of the fans, they take their bow. F1 Saturday night.